Hello, my beautiful souls. You're watching the Messy Human Tarot, and I'm your host, Ruby. So please check that disclaimer always. Everything is timeless, general, and usually for our personal well-being. If you're new here, if you're new here, welcome. Please share, like, comment, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. So, I had an interesting download via Odin and Loki, and how they're talking about us using too much two-dimensional restrictive thinking. There's a lot of heavy energy going on right now, and a lot of it is just because, okay, so have any of you guys, what's it called, Socrates' cave or something, Plato's cave or something, where, basically there's this thing called the divine theater, and so where the gods and the goddesses, with the power of our imagination, create stories that can help and support our growth. However, also too, the storytelling can be also too very limiting and restrictive, and if we overly believe in this divine theater, it can have negative consequences. And you sometimes see this with Christians, right? No offense to Christians, because I believe in God and I believe in angels, but you know what, that does not mean anything for Christians out there sometimes. For some Christians, there's different types of Christians, right? And the Christians that usually, I think, do better emotionally are the ones who understand that there is information that can be utilized to support their growth. And then there are Christians who weaponize information. And they don't always necessarily understand that it's a weaponization. So you have like these two different choices, right? Because Two of Swords likes to come in sometimes and say, we have a choice in how we act and behave and what we believe and what we absorb and how we utilize the lessons that the divine theater play is presenting to us. Cosmic beings are like actors. You have to see it as like we have TV, and sometimes, and there's a research study on this, by the way, sorry, but like sometimes people who watch too much TV have difficulty telling the difference between reality and fantasy. And so we can run into the same issue with the gods, and they're like, it's just a play. It's just a play. And what can happen sometimes when people struggle with knowing what's reality and fantasy is sometimes people are put in boxes, and it might be restrictive thinking. And the Devil card came through when I was doing my little conversation with Odin and Loki, and Michael's in the background, of course, listening. Going like, yeah, you guys need to do a little bit better here, guys, because just because we're presenting you information doesn't mean you can weaponize it. Weaponize it? So, I'm here as a representative to say, hey, they are concerned. They are genuinely concerned. Odin saying, like, you guys cut it out. Odin's really concerned. Like, he's coming in and he's saying, like, he's specifically aiming his energy at the heathens right now. I don't know what's going on. I have no context what's going on, by the way, because I'm like Merlin. I'm not like Sweden, but I'm like an isolated island because I steer clear from drama, right? Or try to, and that doesn't always work. But the reality is, he's saying like there's some current drama going on between heathens right now, and he's like, so you know that Loki's my blood brother, right? Like, we're just playing out a play. We're having some fun, some good laughs here. We're also too trying to support your emotional and spiritual growth and your spiritual bypassing. He's not very thrilled right now. He feels kind of annoyed. I'm just playing it lightly, honestly. So if you're heathen and you're very anti-Loki and you're telling other Lokians how to live their lives, as someone who has recently opened her heart to Odin and kind of like allowed him to communicate to, like, because I used to be very anti-Odin. And I used to be like, he's against us, it's us against them. And then you know, Odin outweighed that. He was just very patient with me, and he didn't, you know, like, get overreactive about that. He didn't do anything that would have harmed me. But I think he kind of like, he outstubborned me, basically. And he had this interesting perspective that he presented to me, and he said, you know, we're not enemies. I know there's this belief that Ragnarok is going to happen and we're gonna like duke it out, but then we're gonna move on and we're gonna get up, stand up, shake off the dust, hug it out, man. You know, we're best friends here. We've always been best friends. We're each other's counterparts. We actually create a balancing system here. We're the checks and balances in the universe. And we're very frustrated that people think that we are out to get each other, right? And a lot of us, what we see right now is a lot of us against them energy, which is, you know, if we go back to Plato's or Socrates' cave, right? You're in this cave and all you have is these shadows. So you have limited references to pull from to kind of guide yourself in making decision making process. So basically what happens is you're still making the same old mistakes over and over and over again because you refuse to leave the cave, or you're unaware you can leave the cave at any given point if you want, you know, because the chains, right, the devil card's coming through, and they're like saying, like, you know, it's all illusion, right? Like, you know, that's all illusion. We made that shit up for you guys because you needed something back in the heyday, you know, to support your learning path. And now at this stage of the game, you really shouldn't be needing the training wheels anymore, and you're acting like there are no training wheels, but you're using them. And they're literally saying that. They're saying that you guys are overusing the training wheels. They're saying that there's a lot of good people out there and kind individuals, and we have to be careful about taking out things out on them because you're basically not making yourself look good at all. I'm trying to say things in a more gentler way that Odin's saying it, by the way. He seems kind of miffed right now. And he wants to remind people, like, when you point fingers, do you see these fingers? This is not originally me. This is from another individual who told me this, my partner specifically. And so you basically see those fingers? How many are aimed directly at you? What is that? What was that? What did I hear? The 3 times rule? The 3 times rule? No. Heavens forbid it. But you do see that, right? 3 fingers. What you send out into the universe comes directly at you 3 times. And guess what? 1, 2. So if you're aiming 2 times 3, what is that? 6. No wonder they're peeved, because they're telling you, cut the heck out. I have my tarot cards here. I was ready to do a tarot reading, but I think I'm doing a reality check for somebody out there. You cool your shit. Just cool it. I'm not saying, because we're all messy here, right? I'm not saying, like, I don't have anything to contribute to this. Like, I know I'd have to do some forgiveness work. I gotta start doing that myself. Like, but, like, we all have to get this reality check sooner or later, right? You know, like, I hear thunder. I hear thunder. Or my dog. That could be my dog out there. He's like, ah! I really want to do tarot, so I'm going to just push through and pull you guys some cards. It's like, begin again. So, yeah. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you did, but you can begin again. Prayer. They definitely want you to pray. Understand the layers. Release fear. So yeah, a lot of what this is saying is that it's time to do some prayer work for some of you. Begin again. Understand where this pain is coming from, because it could be connected to fear. Sometimes when we're finger pointing other people, we're so afraid of accountability. We're scared of being blamed ourselves, right? Like, if, like, say someone says, like, example, so I have this fear of being blamed, of being targeted. And let's just say that sometimes that's gotten me into trouble, where I have said some harmful words towards other people, and that's not worked out to my own benefit. And right now I have a friend who doesn't really communicate a very lot, and she's recently been communicating a little bit more. And there's a part of me that's kind of angry and resentful. It's like, like, oh, now suddenly your circumstances have changed and shifted, and now you're talking to me. And I can be honest with you, like, I just two different choices I can make with this. Like, I can be maybe a little, like, I could act in a resentful way, a little catty, petty. I could do those things and say, oh, yeah. Or I can be like, oh, hi, how are you doing? It's been a while. I'm so grateful the door's open. And then I have another friend where anything deep that comes her way, the door closes. And I can be like, yeah, I guess like when then, like, because something further down the road, something's gonna happen. She's gonna need someone to return the favor, and she's gonna have no favors, right? She's gonna be like, oh, like, I need to have this deep conversation. I need to be able to express all of my sides of who I am, which is a hot mess. We all know we're all hot messes. And I could be like, yeah, where were you? Where were you? I could do that, right? Like, there's all kinds of sides. There's all kinds of choices I could make. And something that the divine source is telling me is that, I'm like, do you want to be the petty one? Or do you want to do the right choice? The place of kindness, of love, of compassion. I mean, maybe you can pray a little. You could pray that their hearts will soften and open to you, or they'll be honest with you. Maybe you can release some fear, because what's going on right there when you want to be petty, when you want to reject those people? Are you having abandonment issues? Do you want to get back at them because they hurt you? Like, what's going on? Let's understand the layers. And because ultimately it's not a me versus them. It's a me thing, right? Do I want 2 times 3 and 6 of energy coming 8? Let's look at 6. Let's think about the number 6, right? That's the home, the hearth. That could create some future problems for me. I won't be centered. I won't be organized. I won't It won't be comfortable in my life, right? I'm not going to have those connections that I'm going to need. And that's going underneath prayer, because when we're connecting to the divine source, they're often saying, like, what kind of things do you want to come back at you? You want relationships with other people? Well, you got to start with yourself. If you want relationships with other people, you got to be honest about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And also, too, you got to connect to us so we can keep you humble, so we can keep you safe, so we can keep you whole and centered and grounded, so you can have some clarity, authenticity, loving kindness to yourself and all. Because ultimately, right, we all want connections with people. But you aim that shit at other people, it's going to come right back at you. It's going to come back and it's going to hurt. Has anyone ever been hit by a snowball in the eyeball? Like, it hurts me. Like that shit hurts, and there's ice in it sometimes, right? You throw that snowball. Sometimes there's 6 snowballs coming right back at you. And initially, like, we're like, oh, this is great. Like, I'm getting something. I'm getting off on this, right? No. 6 snowballs. 6. And let's think about this. For some weird reason, 6 of Pentacles and 6 of Wands is coming through. What do you want to be recognized and known for, right? What do you want to be recognized and known for? Because ultimately your behavior is going to create a reputation. And you're going to be known for either being petty or for being compassionate. 6 of Pentacles is about reciprocality. We might sometimes think about money, but what you put out to you is going to be reciprocated, which means if you act with a lack of integrity, you're going to receive that from other people, from your connections. Wow, Divine Source just wants a reality check with somebody. I'm sorry. But that's just what the show is about. Sometimes it's soft and fluffy, and sometimes it's like, nah, you got to get off that. You got to get off that. You cannot just be like this right now. Again, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to come back towards yourself? You got to have some reality checks here, guys. And that's where we're going to leave off. I appreciate y'all. I really do. And don't worry, because this is something too I'm processing. This is something that I am understanding, whether I like it or not. Like, I have to think about this too. Because I, right now, have some friends that I have to kind of, like, make the right choice too. So, you're not the only one in this. Sorry. You and I can both begin again, luckily. The Divine Source is saying we can begin again, but we still got to do the work. So there's hope in that. All right, to Lucy's may meet, blessed to be, amen, to good health, and bye.